Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. Today I wanted to talk about a load of different things. Some awesome stuff about the current 3.24.1 build and the Blockade Runner dynamic event. Server meshing tests that are ongoing. Alpha 3.24.2 going to Evocati real soon, and potentially even more features being brought into that. And some of my concern, but also hype, about Alpha 4.0 features. So let's start with bits that are in Alpha 3.24.1 that I want to talk about. Stolen, recovered, liberated ships, be they from other players or NPCs, will persist in your personal hangar. So you can effectively steal a ship and bring it back to your personal hangar. As long as you don't try and send them down the elevator or block your elevator with them and then try spawning something else, you'll basically have them there. So some people are amassing hordes of ships from one way or another in 3.24.1. You can put them all on the elevator as long as you don't try and spawn anything. So yeah, people have hangarfuls of these ships. This will be really exciting with 4.0 and engineering. All that additional gameplay with physical components and the disabling of ships. No more sort of artificial health pools, because it sort of expands your range of how you can get some of these ships. And I want players to be able to play Star Citizen with a starter pack and be able to experience every element of that game without being like, this is a real trudge to level up or to get the stuff that I want. Because you're not really leveling up, but you're sort of earning money to get the ships that you want. And oh, there's going to be a reset. Is that reset going to be before I get the ship that I want? I want there to be other ways of getting that stuff. I want there to be players that are really incentivized to play the game, and I think this helps do that. Also, I am super impressed with the Blockade Runner dynamic event. Yes, some servers don't spawn enough of the cargo, the Zeta Prolinade that you need on the ships, the pirate ships, so you can't complete it on those servers, but apparently that's becoming less and less. They've hotfixed it, or partially hotfixed it. Lots more players are able to complete this now, but that 3.24.1 patch and the event running together seems to work pretty well compared to previous events that CIG have run. And this is partly due to the replication message queue being a big success, sort of helping with latency, delay, desync, loads of networking problems that they previously had. And in that patch, NPCs and AI are working much better than they ever have in Star Citizen, at least in my opinion. That's not to say that they don't bug out sometimes. They're certainly not perfect, but they even have like NPCs above ground around bunkers, and these react sort of appropriately. You can do bunker missions without everyone just going AFK. It's one of the sort of stealth additions in that latest build. Moving a little bit away from latest build, server meshing tests seem to be going pretty well. They're doing loads of these tests and optimizing and fixing sort of 4.0 based tech in the tech preview build, and they're often making this open to everyone because they want to stress test static server meshing. And it's probably the biggest and most important, but also the potentially most catastrophic system that they could add to the game to make it an MMO anyway. Getting it as refined as possible before they move on to 4.0, before 4.0 is even in PTU, it's a great idea. It's very sensible. It also gives the community something to do while we're waiting on CitizenCon, and we do know that 4.0 and PTU for that is not too far away. Alpha 3.24.2 though is about to go to Evocati. This patch contains a load of features such as the new caves, the Zeus Mark II, the new MFDs, which I'm really excited for, but also potentially some other stuff from 4.0 and other updates and tweaks and stuff. So we know that they wanted to put a build out last night at time of recording, but it got pulled because it was a bit broken. We do know that when we get this first iteration of this build, when it first goes to Evocati, it's going to be very buggy. They always are. It's an Evocati build, and it won't have all the content either. But as I said, it will potentially have things like character customization being pulled from 4.0, because there were some rumors about the tattoos being in there. So if rumors are to be believed anyway, we should be able to talk about this though once CIG sends it to Evocati. They have softened their stance on talking about the patch, what you're playing in it, the patch notes, all that sort of jazz. So hopefully that will be the case here still. Some other stuff I'm really looking forward to. Homesteads. These are going to be shown off at CitizenCon. These appear to be very simple player bases that might just be some rooms that are placed on a planet, and then you can put storage and items in them. That's what it looks like anyway. I don't 100% know. That's not a confirmation of exactly what they are. I'm hoping that we get hangars ASAP as part of this, so that we can effectively spawn ships from an elevator, like in 3.24 with that stuff. So yeah, I'd love it if they just had underground elevator, which is technically hangar storage. Absolutely great for player bases. That would really make it for me. I have no idea how they're going to persist across shards. This stuff might come with shard affinity, so it tries to put you on a shard where you have a base. They might not appear on every shard. It's going to be an interesting one, right? There's a lot of questions which remain unanswered, but they should be answering them at CitizenCon. Let's talk a little bit about the engineering stuff that they're bringing with 4.0, because this is a huge amount of stuff from like life support and physicalization of components and power management and relays. So some players are concerned that the addition of repair, damage control, engineering is going to make stuff overly fiddly and complex. The in-game play of engineering isn't particularly complex because it's magic beams, it's replacing fuses. There's not actually that much to think about. You just need to be on it, as it were. You need to be reactive to it, potentially proactive to a lot of this stuff breaking. And you've got the ability to see how damaged systems are. You need to be able to power up these fires, things like that. So larger ships, though, they are going to need players running around fixing things and coordinating where things need to be fixed. That's a big thing, because otherwise those larger ships are just going to become inoperable very fast as the relays blow, as sort of items get damaged. Fires are going to be catastrophic if just left to burn, things like that. Something else that I'm interested in is how are they going to handle sort of updates to subsystem targeting or system targeting, because I want to be able to see the health and wear of specific components, be able to target exactly what I want to target. Are we going to be able to target things like relays? Are they actually going to be a component to target? Yeah, so I want a load of updates to scanning and targeting for this, really. It's going to be really interesting to see. Are relays just sort of a thing that's dealt through by attrition? But if you know where they are, you can just sort of shoot them. Can players be hit or even targeted while they're in combat? So you're flying around. Can I find where the players are? Can I just shoot the bridge, target the cockpit, and will that take out all the players there if I've got some relatively big sort of ballistics, because we know that ballistics can cut through armor. Armor is a component now. And yeah, I think that's just an interesting one, because stray shots, are they just going to take you out, or is that not going to be a thing? It's hard to tell. I think it's going to be a thing. We do know that the armor that we're getting in 4.0 is basically just like armor as a component, and it's a very simplified version of ship and vehicle armor, but they'll be expanding that out in the future. I think some things to sort of worry about, or maybe not worry about, but to consider, are power plants going critical. So this is another big part of 4.0, because how do ships explode? Well, they're sort of replacing the soft death system with engineering and damage control and power plants going critical and stuff, but you can still explode if your power plant goes critical, but we don't know all of the ins and outs of this. So CIG basically said if your power plant hits 0% sort of health, then it will go critical, but it might just be that there's a chance it goes critical. I'm not sure if there are warnings for this, but if you don't deal with it, you don't repair it or chuck it out your airlock, it will explode and your ship will explode. So other things are, can you just keep on shooting to make that power plant go critical? That sort of stuff, like does just overkilling with damage just make it go critical straight away? Or are there chances that the system just gets destroyed fully and you can't it won't go critical? That said, CIG did say as well with repair and damage control in 4.0 that even if system's at 0% health, it can still be brought back. You can still repair it, but you might not be able to get it back up to 100% without going to like shipyard facilities or the stations. I am looking forward to shipyards actually in the future. That's going to be probably where capital ships are dealt with, right? Like, but stations at the moment. Some other bits, life support. So that's going to catch some people out, I think, because lots of people on a ship together, we might actually start running out of oxygen. And if there's fires, you're going to start running out of oxygen. So not a huge amount of people go around at the moment without a flight suit and helmet on, because there's little reason sort of to go around in your civilian clothing or take your helmet off. But it does happen, and CIG are probably going to need to give us more reasons to go around without flight suits. But we'll have to wait and see how life support all pans out. But I like the mechanics behind it, and obviously this is directly related to fire, which is interesting. They did say that fires could only be started on ships in 4.0, ships, or assumedly in vehicles as well. But you can technically light something and then take it out of the ship. I wonder what untold damage we can do to the terrain and environments and structures, or if it is just ships and components that can be damaged by fire. The last thing I really wanted to talk about is master modes, because many people dislike the new sort of master modes, the ship flight and combat stuff. Some people like it though, it's just not ready yet, I suppose, is what I want to say. I plan to be looking at the systems more critically of master modes and ship flight and combat, and actually how much I enjoy it versus how competitive it is, and how, you know, the sort of scale is for the skill floor, skill ceiling, all that sort of stuff. When 4.0 comes out, we'll look at that a lot more, because there's a load of stuff that's going to change with the engineering updates and the new MFDs, and a load more balance and updates to master modes. What I'm saying is that I feel that we can see master modes as being much more worthy of being critiqued as of 4.0, because hopefully the system will be a lot more refined and in a better state. Hopefully it will make a lot more sense in context with all the other additions and changes that CIG are putting in the game. Because if I'm flying around trying to take out individual systems on a ship, master modes might be really effective of sort of providing that kind of gameplay. At least that appears to be the plan to me, but I need to see it more in context. But I'm interested to know what you think and where you're hoping like master modes is going. Are you excited by anything that's coming soon with Star Citizen with 3.24.2? Do you think even more 4.0 sort of features going to be brought into that Evocati patch, or when eventually it's live build? So yeah, I do think 3.24.2 could be pretty big, surprisingly big. And when do you think we're going to get that? Is that going to turn up for like live at the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo, or for CitizenCon, or in between? What's your experiences with the 3.24.1 build and the blockade runner AI there? Have you been trying to store a load of ships, and have you been getting involved with those server meshing tests? Whatever your thoughts or questions, chuck them in the comments below, and listen to this guy about getting NordVPN. You should click the links below. It helps support the channel. Ooh, what's in the box? That is what Pandora asked. She was told not to open that box, but she did. The internet is like Pandora's box, full of the chaos of the world. And Pandora basically opened an email attachment asking to help a millionaire prince move money around. Bam! It was Medusa all along. You've turned to stone. Foolish! You should know your Greek mythology. What's not foolish is nordvpn.com/BoredGamer. NordVPN is potentially one of the greatest Greek mythological heroes. It helps protect you from the terrors of the internet, helping you be more secure and private, while also giving you great accessibility. You can use my links down below to get NordVPN cheap. September, we've got a giveaway. Every month we have a ship giveaway, and this month is no different. We're giving away 5 ships this month. Actually, that is a bit different. That's 4 more than normal. We're going to give each of them to a different winner. We've got a Nomad, an X1, a Sulen, a Mustang Alpha, and a 100i. They all come with access to the game and lifetime insurance. All you need to do to be in for a chance of winning any of those is comment on any of my videos made during the month on YouTube. I want to say a massive thank you to all our patrons and channel members. Your support allows us to make daily content. You are the best, and you should consider joining them by clicking the join button under my videos. It goes a long way in helping us, as does commenting, sharing videos, liking, all of that jazz. You do not have to chuck money at us, but if you want to, I'm not going to stop you. Thanks for watching, and have a great September.